each one of these pictures are going to be it's going to have like 32 pages, and each one of the 4-story blocks are going to, or 8-story blocks on those next to those pages are always going to have something to do with the images that you're seeing happening in front of you. The funny thing about the way the story came about was my kids were looking at these drawings that I was doing, and I noticed that 2 or 3 of them were connected, and then my kids were like, aren't they all connected? So once I realized this image right here is the same guy that's being held by the magician over here, I was like, okay, these 2 are connected. The ghost that you're seeing here is the great uncle, and he sent this creature to attack him. This is the were-dragon girl. This is the witch, who's the daughter of that magician you saw, and the niece of the great uncle. There's the werewolf I keep talking about. And then my kids were like, hey, isn't this guy that is being picked up here by this reaper the same guy in day 2? I was like, holy crap, it is. And then from that's how all the stories got connected. And then from there, I realized, hey, every one of these pictures is part of the same story. And this was like my kids who came up with this crazy idea. Like, this Frankenstein monster is being chased by the werewolf. Before he became a werewolf, he used to be a monster hunter. And he's like 400 years old. So like, there's a bunch of funny things, like the headless horseman, or the headless headsman. Like, this is a demon that hunts people, chops off their heads, and when you bring it to life, or when you bring it into this world, it gives you his head to hold, the skull to hold. As long as the skull's protected, it's invincible. It can't be destroyed. So this is how the girl who's the were-dragon, this is the dragon who cursed her and made her into a were-dragon. This is her when she was younger. Her father made the deal with that dragon, didn't pay up, he's dead, and she has to pay the price for what he did with the dragon. So like, this is the werewolf and her are family. Like, they're distant family. And if they're not distant family, their families are connected. So that's the werewolf, and that's the were dragon girl, the mermaid. And then the witch and the werewolf don't have a lot of things that are in common. Like, she's always trying to kill him. So in multiple stories, you'll see she's attacking and kind of killing him. And then there's the headless huntsman. Once I realized I kept on putting him in pictures, I started realizing midnight, my witching hour, this is when she was summoning him. So there's a bunch of like fun little things that came out of this project. Like, this was just practicing, but it allowed me to draw a lot, and I did a lot of stuff from my head with no reference, which was actually kind of neat. So that's the stuff I like about it. So I started doing these challenges just to help me speed up my work and get better at drawing stuff. So it works out pretty well. Yeah, his head is off. Let me just see something. Yeah, his head is completely off. It would have to be right there. That looks right. I have no idea why every time I'm drawing him, his head starts looking huge. Is the vibe? Wow, the music's been on all that time. I didn't even realize. It's so funny. For all this time that you were talking to me, I didn't realize who you were until I started looking at it. I'm like, DJ. I'm like, don't touch the trim. I'm like, oh my God. It completely escaped me who you were until I started like putting it together. And then you said, I just turned 40. I'm like, wait a minute. I know somebody who just turned 40. I completely missed it. Yeah, like I said, I'm a bit slow, so I figured things out. But it started to make sense. But like, yeah, I love your stuff with the character that you do as the samurai. She's That's a really awesome stuff. I love a lot of the samurai stuff that you're doing. Um, it's really really cool stuff. The thing I was gonna tell you too, if you ever get a chance, download Warble. Warble is such a cool program. It's called the Photo Animator. It's what I do a lot of my profile pictures with, and it's a way I animate a lot of my motion comics. Oh no, it was funny. I remember back in the day when you were on ICC when I first joined. That was like in 2014, and some dude like was coming at you for no reason, and I think you had left, and I hadn't seen you on Facebook for a while. And then I think you came back maybe around 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and that's when I caught back up with you. But yeah, you were one of like my favorite artists from ICC back in the day. Yeah, World is available on Android. And another thing I'm gonna tell you too, like which is fantastic for editing video, um, you can do really cool stuff. Is this is also available on Android. Yeah, now I remember, like I told you, you're one of those people like whenever you used to post your stuff, like it always stood out. Like you're one of those people I always looked at their work, so it was kind of crazy. This is another great program that you want to take a look at. This is also available on Android. Video Leap by Lightrix, hands down the best video editor on mobile, and I prefer it over like the stuff I use on my Mac. But it is like stupidly powerful, and I'll just give you a quick example of some of the stuff I've done with it. So I'm gonna lower the music down. This is just a quick example of stuff I've done with it.
Here goes nothing. What was that supposed to do? I won't even waste a force blast on you. I see why they call you Dragon's Fire.
Yes, one day I'll tell you the story.
So what's really cool about that's royalty-free music that you're hearing from. Some of it is from my computer, but that song that was just playing was called Adaptation. That is from inside this program. It's like, it's crazy. And then between this and Warble, I did this Brother Black and White project for Jay Kelly. What? Yeah, there you go. And all the music from this is from Video Leap. Some of the sounds are stuff that I've used before that I created myself, but this whole thing where you're seeing that everything is black and white, that's a filter that I'm dropping on top of it. And these are a lot of things I've designed for Jay, and some stuff that he has done on his own. Like I created the Dysphoria comics. Oh no, it's W-E. I'll spell it for you. It's spelled this way. Another thing too, you can see they have a big presence on Instagram. So that's what it is. It's Warble, the photo animator. So I'll just show you some examples of some of the stuff that Warble does. This is a 3D opening that he paid for, which is really nice.
The Brother, Black and White.
Everything you're seeing there is done with this program. This is Warble.
Why is this evil after you? Jay, speak up. They killed my child for breaking a voodoo code, and now.
So that's Warble. Like when you see the smoke, and then the moving of the tie and all that stuff, that's Warble. So yeah, between the two of those things.
After me, Imani. Did she just vanish? Why is this happening to me?
I'm back. He's lying, brother. He's a human trafficker.
And
He killed a girl for trying to escape.
that's not true. May your demon show you the same mercy.
The blur
you showed
effect,
your victim.
that's video.
I didn't mean to kill her. Please forgive me. No, stay away. No.
Nah, I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell people about these things all the time, because the level of work that can be produced, especially by indie folks, is like downright amazing. And I'm always trying to tell people about it. It's like I'm always like screaming into the abyss because I tell people and nobody uses them. So I'm pretty sure, I know you're somebody who will actually take a look at that stuff, because it's amazing. This Video Leap program, I found out about it over a guy who does Wordle, and he's like, his Wordles are so amazing. Like, he did one of Cosmic Ghost Rider dragging Galactus by a chain. It's the most dynamic, kinetic thing I've ever seen in my life, and it was Wordle, and it blew me away. He did another one of a Superman cover of Superman flying in front of you, looking like he's coming, like he's gonna fly through the screen. All done with Wordle. He's called Babylon Buzz. If you get a chance, check out his Instagram. He does Wordle all the time, and his Wordles are funny and super impressive. Just so you can get an idea of how powerful that program really, really is. It's nuts. But yeah, but it's. I'm always trying to tell folks about the things that I see, because I'm looking at some of the stuff being produced. I'm just like, man, that could be done so much easier, and it could be done so much better if you just use this. Like, a lot of times people will just say, I'd rather just let you do it, and people will pay me to do it. But at the same time, I try to point it out to people just so, like, hey man, I know money is tight sometimes, and Wordle is pretty fun to use. So that's why I always try to tell people about it. And you can do a lot of really amazing stuff. And that's kind of how I've been doing all my motion comics. I know this is going to be too many, but yeah, but definitely, because a lot of the work that I see you produce, I know if you put a little bit of Wordle on some of those things, they look amazing. Also, you can do highlights, you could do sparkling of metal. You can make the character's hair look like it's blowing in the wind. They created stuff for fabric. Oh yeah, definitely. It's kind of the funny thing about my IG. I'm not as religious on it as I'm supposed to be. Like right now, Twitch is dragging a lot of my attention. I've been streaming on it like crazy. Between this game that I'm in the beta for, and Facebook has made it a lot harder to stream and share your stream while you're using it. Like, unless you're like a gamer or you're like you have a really large following, they don't let you do. They stopped letting you share about a month ago. Like I used to share my screen to a bunch of different groups. They got rid of the sharing feature. They only let me share the stream after it's over. And I don't understand why, but that's Facebook. So once that started happening, I started just streaming on Twitch. And that's why I moved over to it. And this program is one of the best streaming programs that I've ever seen for streaming in general. It's fantastic. It's easier than any of the other programs, and by just adding one or two different things, this stream elements is one of the things that I found that's really nice. That's how I'm adding the little overlay on top of the screen so we can actually see the chat moving up and down. My logo is also being brought in through stream elements, and then from the program itself, I put backgrounds from art that I've done, and there's that Captain Jamaica logo is also another image that I'm able to place in. One of the things I could definitely see me doing is if I eventually can start generating more money consistently, I might actually definitely subscribe to this program so I can get more features and do a little bit more with it. But yeah, it's a really Stream Champ for iPads are fantastic. And that's kind of the most amazing thing I've seen so far. The thing that I was using before this was something called Stream Labs. Again, very video game centric, but this one for Twitch, it's amazing. I started using it so much, like I started following a bunch of people on Twitch, and I've been watching Twitch more than I watch regular TV because there's a lot of interesting news shows. People who are, oh, you're all Windows. I get you. I only thing I'll tell you, out of all of the, if you ever did one Apple thing, iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, only thing that's worth it. Like I'm at the point where I'm ready to drop iPhones because I'm just tired of them. Like the only Apple thing I really 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 like is my iPad. After that, everything else, I wouldn't miss much. The only reason I like the Mac is because of a program called the only reason I like the Mac is a program called Hype, and it's a cheaper alternative than using Adobe Animate, and you can do a lot of what Adobe Animate does with it, and that's the only other reason like why I use a Mac computer, and its connection to my Apple ecosystem. But yeah, the iPhone, I'm not that impressed with it. It's kind of annoying. But that's the one thing I can tell you. The best thing you can get for yourself is if you buy anything Apple, iPad Pro, Apple Pencil, and what's cool with the Apple Pencil is once you get a screen protector that makes it matte, it doesn't make the screen feels glassy anymore, and it reduces glare. It feels like you're drawing on paper, even though you're drawing on a tablet. That's the only thing you need besides the pencil. But yeah, once you have that, that's the only thing I'll definitely rep hard for Apple. If somebody was saying like, yeah, should I get an iPad or should I get a Cintiq? I'll say get an iPad. Should I get an iPad or should I get a Surface? Get an iPad, like because of this program too. Because I'm a Procreate evangelist. I think it's the best thing. I literally upgrade my iPad when a feature of this program doesn't work at all. Yeah, I keep thinking about getting them. It's just that I don't think my computer has enough power to run something like that, or I don't think I have enough. Do you need when you use the X Pen? Does it need a computer too? Yeah, the Cintiq, from what I was hearing, is it's a little slow. Like the delay on it is kind of annoying. Because people say like the reason a lot of people who have Cintiqs and have iPads, like drawing on the iPad, they go like the delay on an iPad is almost negligible. You can't even see it. With a Cintiq, sometimes you could actually still pick up the delay a little bit. And I gave up using most Adobe programs. I use the Infinity Suite now. Infinity Photo, Photoshop Alternative, Infinity Designer, Illustrator Alternative, and Infinity Publisher. I forgot, is it InDesign or one of the other ones that Adobe has. And the reason I like about those programs is when the deal was on, they were $25. But even when they don't have a major deal going on, those programs are only $50. And it's buy once and own forever. There's no monthly subscriptions. There's no paying as you go, or you don't really own the software. None of that stuff. So that's one of the things I like. And they're really, really powerful programs. They do most anything you can do on an Adobe program, you can do, and they can do a little bit more. That's the only reason. Like I got mad at Adobe once they went over to what do you call it? The paid model. So I've been using Infinity programs ever since. And for lettering, I'm using something called Autodesk Graphics, which is on my iPad and on my Mac. And I'm just really fast with that program, so that's the only reason I don't use like Infinity Designer or something like that. But yeah. Oh, only the major to go. I should do some kind of triangles. Let me see something. If I just drop all of this, go away. Let me see. Not loving that. Something. That one's okay. This one's completely busted. Completely busted. That does not look right at all. The shoulder is completely off. So this is kind of like what starts to happen for me when I start looking at the drawings. I start seeing like things don't look right. That's better. And I just gotta fix I gotta fix this. This is wrong too. It's just gotta keep it consistent on both sides. Yeah, that looks a lot better than what I was drawing before. Ugh. So that's that. So now I just gotta finish this major guy, and then this page should be done. And then what I gotta do is move over to wow, almost 2 hours. Whew. Once I finish him, I just gotta move over to blocking out the background from them, and then that should be it. What's your? You have a channel on Twitch also? If you do, I should go follow. I should go follow that for sure. If you put the name, I'll go follow after I'm done with the stream. Oh, I think it's blocking it. I don't think I can put. I gotta figure out how to allow links on this thing. I think the moderator is actually blocking all links and a bunch of other stuff, so I can't see them. I gotta definitely pay attention to how to do that. Like I said, it's funny. I'm learning a lot about how this thing works, like the moderation and all that stuff. If you could send me it on a message on Facebook Messenger, that'll work out also, because I'd be able to get it from there. Wait a minute. What's his nose look like? Oh, cool beans. I'll definitely. Yep. I'll be following it right after. Thank you. And what I'll try to do too is I'll look at hopefully they hopefully I can get more pennies together. I'll see if I can go browse your store, see if there's anything I can get. That's been my biggest thing. Like during the last time we got like that stimulus stuff and things like that, I was actually I got a buddy to draw some stuff for me. So that's one of the things I always ask people, like how much they charge and stuff like that. I usually get them to produce art. I'm like, probably if I'm able to commission something from you, I'd probably like you to do Leopard. She's like my fighter in my universe. She's like the strongest fighter I have. She's kind of like my Wonder Woman. Oh no, like I told you, one of the people I've been following for years on Facebook. There's like so many. I do the same thing. Like the store I have, it's all digital. So like anything anybody buys, all I have to do is email it to them, so I don't have to ship them anything crazy. But yeah, so I'm doing the same thing. It was kind of cool. There was like 2 or 3 days where I made like 6 or 7 sales, so it was kind of nice. But definitely, I'll show you a few pictures of her. But like Leopard, she's like one of my favorites. It's kind of funny. She's basically a Catwoman analog. When I first started doing my comic book Blue Jay and the Rush, it was started as like a throwaway universe. Literally, I used to call it a throwaway universe because the idea was I was gonna use it to do like comic tutorials, how you could draw comic books, like by doing referencing other comic books and setting up panels and stuff like that. And Blue Jay was just supposed to be like, what if Batman followed birds instead of bats? And that's kind of what Blue Jay was all about. And then I needed a Catwoman-like character, so I created the Leopard, but she wasn't a thief, and she became like an ally to him. And then I needed a Robin-like character, so I created the Cardinal. So there's a bunch of, all of these characters came about me trying to create like Red Robin, Alfred, and Batman, so I could actually kind of show tutorials on how to do comics. And it's kind of funny, that's before I made my own comic. So it was kind of funny. It's like very lofty dreams, but I'm getting there. Every year, every few months, I'm getting a little bit better at the process. So and it's a funny thing is, my wife was the one, because she was like a lawyer, and she's like, you should copyright that, right? Because like, wouldn't it be real funny? You put this on the web, and she literally told me, and what if somebody just took it and said it was theirs? Then what would you do? Like, it's probably some of the best advice she ever gave me. I mean, it's been rough. It's been a rough couple of years between me and her, but we're separated, but I still respect her on that. That was some of the best advice she ever gave me. It was really good. Yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot. But yeah, it's getting there. Because a friend of mine, he keeps looking at my stuff and he'll point out my mistakes. Like I had drawn one of the mouths I had drawn. He's the one who showed me. He goes like, "What you got to do is you got to get a little bit more parallax stuff going on in your drawings. Like I'm drawing everything like almost flat, and the problem is we're living like these are supposed to be like 3-dimensional images, and I'm starting to understand what he said. Like that's why I just drew that mouth and then I shifted it and made the lower lip look like it's further under the top lip instead of having them parallel to each other. So like he showed me little stuff like that, and I've been trying to keep a lot of those little things. And he just showed me that like 2-3 days ago. So I'm trying to keep that in mind while I'm drawing also. Yeah, I just don't want his cheekbones to be as pronounced as Captain Jamaica here, because it's a very specific thing about his face that I'm drawing. And I gotta fix those eyebrows because I know what this is supposed to be. So this needs to actually be a little bit more intense, and I should narrow his eyes. If I don't narrow his eyes, that needs to happen for sure. And get out work. Yeah, the idea is he's actually mad in that shot. So I definitely have to make it. I definitely have to make it look like he's not happy. And yeah, that's required. Because the question he asks here is pretty it's pretty tough. Appreciate it. Thank you. And I appreciate you stopping by to chat, because the last time I did this, there was no one on for the whole like 3 hours. Yeah, I had lofty goals of doing 4 pages today. I think the reality is always going to be like 1 page a day, because it takes time. Yeah, I know. It's like I said, I'm just starting out, and it's kind of cool. The 2 things that I'm doing, I get people actually to go on, and I get people to talk to. So it's kind of cool. And I get a lot of interaction on my YouTube page too, so. That's too thick.